Hello, I welcome to UPSC Prelims Chaturya series of SHANTHA LAKSHMI IAS Academy, where we will discuss the daily prelims MCQs from the Hindu, Indian Express and PIB. Let's get started. The first question. Consider the following statements with respect to State of Global Climate Report 2023. It is an annual report published by the United Nations Environment Programme. 2023 was the hottest year on record, with the global average near surface temperature at 1.45 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial baseline. It was the warmest 10-year period on record. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only one, only two, all three, none of the above. This was in news recently. The new annual State of the Global Climate Report published by the World Meteorological Organization found that 2023 was the hottest year on record. About this report, it is an annual report published by the World Meteorological Organization. Dozens of experts and partners contribute to the report, including UN organizations, National Meteorological and Hydrological Services, and global data and analysis centers, as well as regional climate centers and the World Climate Research Program and the Global Atmosphere Watch and the Global Cryosphere Watch and the Copernicus Climate Change Services operated by ECMWF. Highlights of this report: 2023 was the hottest year on record, with the global average near surface temperature at 1.45 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial baseline. It was the warmest 10-year period on record. Numerous records for indicators of the climate system, including greenhouse gas levels, surface temperature, ocean heat, sea level rise, Antarctica sea ice cover, and glacier rate, etc., were broken. On an average day in 2023, nearly one-third of the global ocean was gripped by marine heat wave, harming vital ecosystems and food systems. Towards the end of the 2023, over 90% of the ocean had experienced heat wave conditions at some point during the year. The global set of reference glaciers suffered the largest loss of ice on record, driven by extreme melt in both Western Northern America and Europe, according to preliminary data. In 2023, renewable capacity additions increased by almost 50% from 2022 for a total of 510 gigawatts, the highest rate observed in the past 2 decades. So the answer is only two, because it was an annual report published by the World Meteorological Organization, not UNEP. Moving to the next question. Valmiki Tiger Reserve, recently seen in the news, is located in which state? Option A, Bihar, option B, Gujarat, option C, Assam, option D, Madhya Pradesh. Valmiki Tiger Reserves, Bihar Soul Tiger Reserve utilizes green energy for watering wild animals, including tigers, and they prey in scorching summers. Established in 1990 and declared a wildlife sanctuary in 1978, VTR encompasses Valmiki National Park and Valmiki Wildlife Sanctuary. Situated on the Gandak River bank, it shares border with Royal Chitwan National Park and Parsa Wildlife Sanctuary of Nepal. The Bihar government awaits NTCA approval to declare Kaimur Wildlife Sanctuary as the state's second tiger reserve after VTR. So the answer is option A, Bihar. Moving to the next question. With reference to the spring equinox, consider the following statements. The March equinox marks when the northern hemisphere starts to tilt towards the sun, which means longer sunnier days. In the northern hemisphere, the March equinox is called the autumnal equinox. The southern hemisphere starts to tilt away from the sun, signaling the start of fall. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only one, only two, all three, none of the above. Recently, the March 19 marked the spring or vernal equinox, the first day of spring in northern hemisphere. About spring equinox, as the earth revolves around the sun, there are two moments each year when the sun is exactly above the equator. These moments, called equinoxes, occur around March 19, 20 or 21 and September 22 or 23. Equinox literally means equal nights, since the length of the day and night is nearly equal in all parts of the world during the equinoxes. The March equinox marks when northern hemisphere starts to tilt towards the sun, which means longer, sunnier days. In the northern hemisphere, the March equinox is called vernal equinox because it signals the beginning of the spring. The September equinox is called autumnal equinox because it marks the first day of fall. When the northern hemisphere starts to tilt towards the sun in spring, the southern hemisphere starts to tilt away from the sun, signaling the start of fall. Thus, in the southern hemisphere, the March equinox called autumnal equinox and the September equinox called the vernal equinox. While the March equinox brings later sunrises, earlier sunsets, chillier winds, and dry and falling leaves in the southern hemisphere, while the reverse happens in the northern hemisphere. So the answer is only two, because in the northern hemisphere, the March equinox called the vernal equinox, not autumnal equinox. Moving to the next question. Choose correct one with respect to the biomining. It is a technique of extracting metals from ores and other solid materials, typically using microorganisms. And valuable metals are commonly bound up in solid minerals. Which of the statement given above is not correct? One only, two only, both one and two, neither one or two. The biomining project to clear landfill sites is like to miss the latest deadline of 2024. About biomining, it is the technique of extracting metals from ores and other solid materials, typically using microorganisms. Biomining techniques may also be used to clean up sites that have been polluted with the metals. Processed valuable metals are commonly bound up in solid minerals. Some microbes can oxidize those metals, allowing them to dissolve in water. This is the basic process beyond most biomining, which is used for metals that can be more easily recovered when dissolved than from the solid rocks. A different biomining technique for metals which are not dissolved by the microbe uses microbes to break down the surrounding mineral, making it easier to recover the metals of interest directly from the remaining rock. When the metal of interest is directly dissolved, the biomining process is called bioleaching. And when the metal of interest is made more accessible or enriched, in the material left beyond, it is called biooxidation. What metals are currently biomined? Most current biomining operations target valuable metals like copper, uranium, nickel, and gold that are commonly found in sulfidic minerals. Microbes are especially good at oxidizing sulfidic minerals, converting metals like iron and copper into forms that can dissolve more easily. Compared to typical mining that uses hazardous chemical and has a large carbon dioxide footprint, biomining represents an environmentally friendly alternative, producing very little hazardous waste. So the answer is neither one or two because both the statement given above are correct. Moving to the next question. Consider the following statements about International Seabed Authority. It is an autonomous international organization established in 1994 to regulate mining and related activities in the international seabed beyond national jurisdiction. The ISA came into existence upon the entry into force of the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. The supreme authority of the ISA is the assembly in which all ISA members are represented. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only one, only two, all three, none of the above. The Council of the International Seabed Authority commenced the first part of its 29th session recently. About this authority, it is an autonomous international organization established in 1994 to regulate mining and related activities in the international seabed beyond national jurisdiction, an area that includes most of the world's ocean. The ISA came into existence upon the entry into the force of the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, which codified international law regarding territorial waters, sea lanes, and ocean resources. In so doing, ISA has the mandate to ensure the effective protection of the marine environment from harmful effects that may arise from deep seabed related activities. ISA is the organization through which state parties to UNCLOs organize and control all mineral resources related activities in the area for the benefit of humankind as a whole. Headquarters, Kingston, Jamaica. Members as of May 2023. ISA has 169 members, including 168 member states and the European Union. Function: the ISA is responsible for granting licenses and regulating activities related to the exploration and exploitation of mineral resources in the international seabed. It ensures that these activities are carried out in a manner that protects the marine environment and promotes the equitable and efficient utilization of resources. Structure: the supreme authority of the ISA is the Assembly, in which all ISA members are represented. The Assembly sets general policies, establishes budgets, and elects 36-member council, which serves as the ISA's executive authority. The council approves contracts with private corporations and government entities for explorations and mining in specific areas of the international seabed. The council oversees implementation of the seabed provisions of the UNCLOS and establishes provisional rules and procedures by which the ISA exercises its regulatory authority. The Secretary General of the ISA is nominated by the Council and is elected by the Assembly to a 4-year term. So the answer is all three are correct. Thank you. This is the today's session.